Hello, my name is Shayna Van, and with so many of our California residents being impacted by COVID-19, including my family of 7, my critical assignment for state and local government with Dr. Harris at Cal Baptist University is focused on poverty policy analysis as it relates to policy intervention efforts from the global pandemic that has those already in poverty facing hardships like never before. Many that are educated and have wealth have taken a blunt to the seamless flow of income. It made me wonder how it impacted those that were already struggling prior to the sudden storm that forced government shutdowns, all in the name of health and safety protocol. Meanwhile, we have the media playing mind tricks on we the people and placing an ignorant level of trust at each level of government. It shows a system failure when federal, state, and local governments down to the county sheriff can't seem to agree on the same playing field on human dignity. We prove our nation is still sleeping. Just as with the recovery efforts of Hurricane Katrina and the massive government failure at all levels of state and local to federal levels and public agencies like FEMA, we continue to see human loss at the expense of our trusted and elected officials failing to take on a true form of a public servant's heart. With that, California continues to plummet during the eye of the storm with a weak attempt at adapting policies that place a band-aid on a gunshot wound. California is in a very sticky predicament with the COVID cases on the rise and businesses once again being forced to close their doors, impacting employees who have already endured financial hardships. Some workers were able to apply to California unemployment benefits with the additional stimulus of $600 a week granted by the relief efforts of the CARES Act as one of the policies implemented to aid against COVID-19. Being poor doesn't mean being lazy. As we can see, some minimum wage workers received more money in their pockets than ever before due to these relief efforts. Now that the stimulus has run dry, those that were paid that amount be lazy and stay home under quarantine still remain poor. This suggests that poverty policies that assist with immediate need is not the answer to end poverty in California. California may have poverty programs that reduce the appearance of poverty, like CalFresh and CalWorks, by addressing the survival need. But this only promotes the mentality of the rat race systematic government cycle, rather than contributing to the investment of building up the child and families to be part of the public administrative process as a way to assist with addressing childhood poverty. Efforts to achieve financial stability are created by empowering the individual to go beyond survival mode and enter a world of possibility and prosperity. So while California remains to have a high representation of Hispanic culture, our government fails to integrate policies that adapt to everyday living and growth and prosperity of this culture. So we continue to have income inequality as it pertains to poverty policy issues seen across ethnic cultures. And in California, 39% is made up of Hispanic and Latinos. So as a consequence of poverty policies in California, in this Band-Aid approach to earning a way out of poverty for minorities is super important. We must be able to address these concerns that surround poverty and those that are not represented. Evidence suggests change in poverty policies in California is still needed as impacts to low-income workers deepen as a result of economic consequences and businesses facing the closures for adhering to the public health guidelines brought by the California Shelter-in-Place orders. All of us in this balancing act between public safety in one hand and our economy and livelihood in the other. COVID-19 didn't create a sudden burst in poverty, but it did expedite an already high tension area of leaving people behind in our country. State policymakers should consider how to address the culture changes that have been impacted due to the change brought by COVID-19, and how California's fight to end poverty starts in the community of which we live, and how we relate it to our moral obligation in order to create policies that allow business and workers to grow. But until the United States can in control of this health pandemic, it will continue to bring challenges on how to target policy interventions. California needs to address policies that can pool in resources that reach the families of which it serves. Many of those not represented have no knowledge or means to receive resources, or lack the network or ability to articulate their affliction, which leads to addressing the root cause that comes from the lack of interest, or those that are simply in survival mode with no time or energy to invest in civic or political affairs. As a result, the poverty working class depends on its leaders to push for policies that distribute resources equally. Once the hardworking people no longer have the concerns of living paycheck to paycheck, naturally people will be able to focus on other issues beyond their immediate needs and become contributing members of society. At least we can only hope.